ahead.
Impact segment tonight, as we reported last week, Senator John McCain is now asking President Obama to put the National Guard on the Mexican border. This after an Arizona rancher was murdered, apparently by an illegal alien. Well, so far, Mr. Obama has resisted putting the military on the border. Joining us now from Washington, Fox News analyst Charles Krauthammer. We disagree on this, Charles, but let's hear your opinion first. Why no military for you?
Because the reason you use the military is if we had satellite information that the Mexican army is massing at the Texas frontier and planning to retake the Alamo. In that case, I would recommend using the military. In our country, in our tradition, we don't use the military for internal policing. If you want to stop illegal immigration, you don't have to use the military. You build a fence. It's not complicated. It's not high-tech. You build a fence. We've been doing that since Cro-Magnon man, and it keeps people out.
Okay, but the virtual fence hasn't worked. The government suspended it last month, $50 million down the drain. And the fence they have now on part of the border, 1,300 miles of border, they have, I guess, about 600 or 700 miles of fence. Does work to some extent, but it's not foolproof. But let me make two arguments. Number one, I think there is an invasion of the United States going on. And we wouldn't have 12 million illegal aliens here if there wasn't an invasion. So number two, I'm using the military to stem the invasion. And I also include in that narcotics trafficking. I think there's an invasion from a foreign country, Mexico, into the United States. It's twofold: people and narcotics. And then in South Korea, the military's mandate is to guard the border between South and North Korea. So certainly the military can do it. I think they're effective doing it. When Bush put them down there, 5,000 guard, wherever they were, they stopped everything dead in its tracks. So all I want to do is problem solve. And I think this is the quickest, easiest solution to the problem. Where am I going wrong?
It's not the quickest, and it isn't the easiest. You don't want to use the U.S. military, the most highly trained, highly advanced, technologically skilled, to go up and down a frontier that goes on forever in jeeps looking for people running across the border.
That's Border Patrol.
Yes, that's for the Border Patrol.
That's what they do. The Guard backs them up. What John McCain wants is the Arizona National Guard to be deployed on that border to stop these people from coming over in conjunction with the Border Patrol. And I'm saying to myself, you know, they're playing cards on the weekends in Phoenix, or they're down there on the border helping the Border Patrol. I'm putting them down there.
It's a completely inefficient, inappropriate use of the military. I'll give you the best example in the world. The Israelis have a problem of infiltrators. And when somebody infiltrates into Israel, it isn't because he wants to grab a landscaping job in Tucson. It's because he wants to go into a high school and kill everybody, right? So the Israelis have a big problem. What have they done? They have built a fence. A fence. Not extremely complicated, a fence with a road between a fence and a second one. They have sand so that you can look for footprints in the morning that you scrape and you track and you rake in the morning. And they have no infiltration. It's the same under the Jordanian border. This is the most highly skilled military in the world. And they build a fence. You said that we built a part of the border with a fence, and that works. Why don't we do the rest of it?
I don't know. I was going to ask you. Well, why don't they build a fence and then keep it? Look, I'm for that. But it just has not been done. The federal government has not been able to do it.
But then the wrong answer is to say because the federal government has refused to do it, you want to send the military.
No, it's not the wrong answer. It's the temporary answer. It stops the bleeding, literally. You can't have ranchers being shot down on their own property.
I agree with you, but I'm saying it's the use of the wrong instrument. The point is that we began in the Bush administration, and we built a third of it. As you said, Secretary Napolitano has announced the cancellation of a $50 million program on the virtual fence, which was always a boondoggle, always absurd. Why do you need sensors? Why do you need high-tech stuff? You get a chain link, you get the concertina wire. It works everywhere in the world. That's the way to stem illegal immigration. If you've got a hot spot, a particular area where during the building of the fence you want extra policing, okay, so you beef up the Border Patrol, you beef up local law enforcement, and if you have to, you might have for a month or two the temporary deployment of National Guard. But National Guard is for hurricanes, it's for earthquakes, It's for wars abroad. It's not for policing.
You didn't convince me, because I'll submit to you National Guard and the military itself is for invasions, and that's what we're dealing with. But Charles, always good to debate with you. Thanks for being on. Directly ahead, John Stossel on parental